LoreWarrior vehicles, the Sherpa Armoured Truck. Deployed battle mechs and combat vehicles have always received the limelight, but behind the scenes, it's support vehicles that keep their more glamorous cousins fighting. Invisible to the layman, an army's logistical tail can decide the outcome of a battle before it even begins. Although the fastest way to move cargo over distances is a border dropship, suborbital hops are often not an option. Maintaining a secure line of supply overland, especially in hostile territory, that can sap the strength of an army just as fast as disaster on the battlefield. Fusion-powered ground vehicles have no range restrictions, making them ideal to the role. Inevitably, only the most prestigious formations can expect to have sufficient fusion vehicles to equip their rear echelon. And so it falls to the humble ICE-powered vehicle to service most armies. But this introduces problems of its own. The need for a steady supply of fuel, and supplying a single element of an army, even a single mech company, can be a mammoth undertaking. Food and water, ammunition, spare parts, medical supplies, clothing, a host of other consumables are all required. Workhorse designs like the Sherpa armoured truck have been used across known space since the Age of War. Built on a reinforced chassis configured as a half-track, the Sherpa can negotiate terrain impassable to most civilian ground vehicles. Armoured to withstand small arms and light support weaponry, the vehicle can also fight back in a limited fashion with its own support machine gun mounted in a turret atop an armoured cab. Many of the vehicle's components can be replaced with parts from civilian vehicles. Indeed, the drivetrain from many common heavy freight vehicles can be used as a temporary replacement. This compatibility unfortunately works both ways, and local militia can find their logistical supports immobilized by light-fingered personnel out to make a few sea bills. Capable of hauling 7 tons at speed and significantly more in dire circumstances, the Sherpa's one weakness is its high rate of fuel consumption. One Capellan commander was recorded sourly making the observation that half his logistical transport was tied up following his Sherpas around with the fuel they needed to keep running. For any army attempting to conduct a mobile campaign, this is indeed not far from the truth. Never intended for frontline combat duty, vehicles like the Sherpa are still often employed in poorly equipped mechanized infantry elements of militias and paramilitary formations. Both the Capellan Confederation and the Turian Concordat utilize the truck in this role in their planetary militias. Many manufacturers produced the Sherpa, or similar designs, while the Earthworks production line and the Capellan Confederation are the most prolific. Only Vandenberg Mechanized Industries on New Vandenberg come close to matching the output of the ground base industrial complex. A basic but reliable chassis and powertrain have resulted in a bewildering array of variants over the years. Fuel tankers, mobile communication centers, MASH vehicles, mobile canteens. The list of applications are near endless. The Sherpa armoured truck, then, is a 35-ton vehicle. Its engine is an ICE, giving it a cruise of 4 and a flank of 6. Oh, decent. It's basically 60-ton movement speed there. It has an armour factor of 31, 4 on the front, on the sides, on the turret, and on the rear for internal structure, while the armour is 7 on the front, 6 on the sides, the turrets, and the rear. It has a machine gun, as it says on the turret, with a single ton of ammunition for 200 rounds of fire and a basic fire control system. It has a crew of 3, a driver, someone to tell the driver they're doing it wrong, and a gunner. It has 7 tons of cargo space available, all located and accessed via a rear door. Its notable features include an armoured chassis and control modification. Again, here we are with something that is just so commonly overlooked, yet so important to Battletech's continued use. However, I think that turret on the top, that is one big-ass machine gun, apparently. Let's say it's a variant. Let's say it's one that maybe uses something a little bigger. Maybe it's a small laser. Maybe it's like an AC-2. We don't know, because if that's a machine gun, that's a fucking big machine gun. That thing is gonna that hits someone, they're going to explode. There's going to be a pair of shoes on the floor and nothing else. Yeah, it's cool little vehicle. These are the kind of things that, it'd be nice, obviously, if they made miniatures of these things. Obviously, they're not going to sell very well. Most people who play Battletech Tabletop are playing it for the pew-pew and the such, and that's perfectly understandable. These would be the kind of things that, if they were produced, would be for those those GMs who want to have a little bit of extra set dressing on the table for when they create a campaign, or for the GMs who want to involve players in moving around in vehicles like these, being able to purchase them for their merc company, or having a game where the players are having to escort vehicles like this, or having to drive a few of them themselves across rough terrain, like Top Gear style, that kind of thing. It's a cool little vehicle. The design is nice, and yeah, as it says, it's a nice write up to to say, like, yeah, for all the flash and the glamour of being a mech warrior or a vehicle crew on the front lines, they ain't gonna get anywhere if they don't have trucks like this to keep them running all day and all night during the fighting. The one thing I do miss about the fact is they mentioned that there are obviously lots of other variants and stuff. I would love for there to have been actually a little sort of a collection of images here that would have shown a few different sub-variants of it, as it says, like a mash truck and a mobile canteen and stuff like that, just like some of the different kind of modifications, or even a few that are the same design of vehicle but slightly different chassis, because there's a Curitan one, there's one used over here in like the Marek territories, that kind of thing. That would be a nice touch, but hey, outside of that, it's cool. I like it. So there's another technically a civvy vehicle. This one's actually more of a military one. Of course, next time we'll be going to the RRV Rock Rover half track, so be keeping up with the military stuff in the next one, but we'll see how that goes. Until then, have a good one. Thanks for listening, as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.